Hello and welcome to Design Space Friday with Shirley Ross. Today we're going to work on a pop-up frame card. I'm part of a card swap, and this was our technique for the month. And I'm going to show you, this is the frame, and when it's all closed and you open the card, this pops up, as you can see, by 1/2 inch. So you can put a picture behind it, whatever you want to do. And we are going to group those to make sure when I move that out of the way, and I'm going to slide this over just a little bit so when I move it I can move it pretty far over. There we go, while we work with the new one. All right, so how I created it was I started with a shape and a square. Let's turn off our shapes and we will unlock it, and we're going to do this 12. This is going to be a true 12-inch card. When you're ready to cut it on the mat, it will tell you that you need to do it to a 24-inch mat, and that's fine. Go ahead and let it pick that option, but you can still use your 12-inch mat. Just put your cardstock 1/4 inch down from the top where you normally put it, and if you need, mark that on your mats. You can use it more often. That's how I get my true 12-inch borders, and it should cut just perfect. You might have to play with it a couple of times, so use some scrap paper the first couple of times to make sure you get the 1/4 inch just right. Okay, so we put our 12-inch by 5.5 inch card base at position 1 and 1 because we want to be able to put score marks in. We are going to make it white so you can see the score lines, and then we're going to go to shapes and bring in a score line, and then turn off shapes again. And the first one we're going to put at is 1/2 inch on this end. So we will put it at 12.5 and 1, and then we'll make it 5.5 because the card is a 5.5 card. Now it is going to be a 4-inch by 5.5. If you're just a stickler for the 4 1/4, you can add some more length to it, but it would require some eighths, and I am not an eighth kind of person. So we're going to duplicate that, and so the next one is going to be at 9 and 1. And we'll duplicate that. And the next one is just going to be a 1/2 inch in, so 8.5 and 1, and one more time. And then this one is going to be at 5 and 1. So now you have your front, your inside, and your frame that's going to come over. So what we're going to do now is, this is where you need to put in your opening for the frame. This will fold over. This piece here on the other side will stick to the edge, and so then when you open it, it'll stand up and you'll see the frame. Excuse me. I will put my blog post again in the comments. You can go to my blog so you can see a picture of the card, so it kind of makes more sense to you. All right, so the next thing we want again is another square, and we'll turn that off, and you can leave it as a square if you want, or you can unlock it and make it a rectangle. And I am going, because I'm just a stickler for let's not make it 4 because that's 4 inches, so we'll put it 3.75. Let's see, that we need it a little bit shorter, so how about we do 3? I like that. Okay, and then we'll do it at 4 so that you get a rectangle. And then if you wish, you're going to have to just kind of eyeball it here, and that means you could put it at, because you know this is at 9, you could put it at 9.25 if you're like me, and then you could put this at 1.75, and that kind of centers it in the middle, and then you will do a shift and hold. And I haven't attached anything, so we can do the slice. Now remember, it always brings whatever you're working with to the front, so you would have to arrange it back to the back so your score lines show through. And so now you have a frame to put a photo in. So your photo would be here. This would fold over the front, and when you open it up, you would see the photo inside. So it's pretty cut and dry, pretty easy card. Now what I'm going to do is move over to where mine is at so I can show you some of the things that I added. All right, after I created decided where I wanted the frame, I found a frame in the images, which I thought would be really cool because I could bring some of the cardstock. So I made my frame opening smaller so I could use another image. So you could do the same. Your opening could be a heart, it could be an oval. It doesn't have to be a square. So you could play with the different images. On top of that, I decided I wanted to write inside. So I put a heart and a happy birthday using the happy birthday was already a writable image, but when I brought the heart in, if you ever want to change an image from a cut to a from a cut to a write, all you need to do, I'm going to find the heart if I can. There it is. All you have to do is click here and change it. You can change to a cut, a write, a score, or a print. And I just changed it to a write so that it would write the heart. And I just used the shapes. So I brought the shape in. Here, I'll kind of show you. I brought the shape in. Okay, of course, you know it's going to be way over here. So let's bring that this way. There you are. So then you would put it on wherever you wanted it to go. And size it however you want so you can see it. And then all you do is click on the scissors and change it to write. And now you have, it'll do a line instead of, and you can pick the colors. And that's what I did here because I did actually write it in 2 different colors. So I did the heart in one pen color. So you would pick the pen color, and then I picked different pen colors. So that way it'll stop after it's done one and let you switch out the pens. So that is how I did that. So I hope you've enjoyed the Design Space Friday. I know it was kind of a quick one today. And please go to my blog so that you can see the finished product. And I will see you next week. Enjoy.